Please welcome the representative of Open Startup International.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to represent Open Startup Tunisia, an African startup accelerator. We are a non-for-profit, and we envision an open and enabling Africa where entrepreneurs access world-class opportunities. Our mission is to enforce the ecosystem by enabling a platform where people can collaborate on cross-continents, supported by Africa Grow. Today, as part of our BRAIN program, which is Bridging Research and Innovation, we have nominated a champion, Reme-D. Reme-D has shown exceptional talent and exceptional work. They've already raised 550K from VCs and angel investors. They've won the LEAP Award in the first place, having 250K. They've won the Wharton Africa Venture Award, and they are doing exceptional work, having already made more than 80K sales in just 6 months. And they are collaborating and building partnerships. One example is their collaboration with a fellow BRAIN cohort startup, Biotech, all across Africa, from Egypt to South Africa. And all of this is led by an incredible female leader who is setting an example of African women entrepreneurship. I really would like to congratulate her, because to us, they are already a champion. And yeah, I mean, I'm very happy to connect with any of you. Our next cohort is going to be in South Africa, and it's going to be in partnership with Digital Africa, Sanofi, and many more ecosystem stakeholders. And I am more excited to continue building this platform together. So looking forward to connect with any of you later on.
Breaking the wall to equitable disease diagnostics access. Salma Tammam, Reme-D.
Good morning, everyone. Imagine not being able to get a life-saving diagnosis simply because of where you live, be it a test for cancer, a genetic disease, or an infectious disease such as HIV. Well, this is the case for the 4 billion people living in these parts of the world. And the reason for that is that 98% of diagnostic tests are imported from the Northern Hemisphere. And this results in low test availability and an inflated test cost. But more importantly, 90% of these diagnostic tests are not suited for use in these regions, particularly given their instability in hot and humid climates and the need for highly equipped lab and trained personnel. And as a result, these entire regions remain under-tested and under-diagnosed. At Reme-D, we develop diagnostic testing solutions for the regions left behind. Utilizing our expertise in nanotechnology, molecular biology, and proteomics, we have revolutionized how molecular testing works. We have stabilized the components that are not stable in hot climates and have replaced expensive components with more affordable ones. And as a result, have developed a patented technology that makes our tests stable at room temperature, as opposed to the ones out there that need to be frozen. Our testing procedure in the lab is 3 times shorter, requiring half of the amount of needed equipment, and therefore allowing testing facilities to triple their productivity. We are 6 times more affordable, with efficiency equal to that of major suppliers. We therefore make testing affordable and accessible to everyone. So our business model is pretty much straightforward. We develop the tests based on in-house R&D. We manufacture the test in our own manufacturing facility, and we sell the tests either directly or through distribution partners to medical labs and hospitals. We also sell mobile equipment that allow for testing at point of care. Within 2 years of starting, we have launched tests for hepatitis C, hepatitis B, HIV, tuberculosis, monkeypox, cytomegalovirus, and catering to the massively underserved issue of women's health, particularly in the geographies where we target, a test for cancer of the cervix. Within 2 years of operation today, we are selling 50,000 tests a month. meaning that 50,000 people are being diagnosed because of our materials. In Egypt, my home country, we are selling to 60 hospitals and labs, and we are also selling in 3 countries, Egypt, Sudan, and Iraq. We have already signed the contracts and will start selling in Nigeria and Kenya in 2025. And all of that while maintaining very healthy unit economics and generating margins that range between 5 and 15x. We will be raising $4 million in May of 2025, and this is to further our R&D activities for launch of new products. And of interest is one product that will allow a physician, a pharmacist, or even a patient to determine whether an upper respiratory tract infection is attributed to a viral or bacterial cause. The main aim is to reduce the unneeded use of antibiotics and to curb antibiotic resistance. This fund will also allow us to engage in further market expansion. As mentioned earlier, in 2025, we will also start selling in Nigeria and Kenya. We have allocated potential partners in the northern part of Africa and we'll start selling there in 2026. And in 2027, we move to Asia. Finally, allow me to introduce the team, starting with myself. My name is Salma. I am co-founder and CEO. I have a PhD in nanomedicine from the University of Bonn in Germany. And in my past life as a university professor, I have led the consortium that has developed the Egyptian COVID-19 testing system. I am also a mother to a 7-year-old boy who is very passionate about what we do, that he could pitch Reme-D to you better than me in 3 minutes. My co-founder, Ali, is a mechanical engineer and has previous successful entrepreneurship experience. Our senior team brings expertise in commercialization, business development and strategic partnership, and research and development. Allow me to end this on a personal note. So my grandfather was a hepatitis C patient, and he lost his life to the disease predominantly due to a late diagnosis. But again, this is not just my story. This is the story of 4 billion people that happen to represent a $20 billion market. But this can be the start of the end, and let's together break the wall to equitable access to diagnostics. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that we start with what comes before health can be made with a diagnosis. So it's a fantastic start into this day. So let's go and get ready for the questions. As I was saying, you can really be in the very center of the stage because you are the star here. So we want to know, what are the questions? I see here 1 question of the jury, 2, 3 questions of the jury. So we're going to start with you, please. Come on.
Thank you.
Super interesting. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about the innovation specifically. Like, how did you manage to create temperature stability where other people didn't?
Yes.
And also how, let's say, long-term are the longest tests that you've done in terms of stability?
Okay. So if I'm going to start back end, so because we are already licensed and we have like technical files submitted and we are already producing, so our stability or lifespan is 1 year in terms of stability lifespan. In terms of the technology, so I come from a background of nanotechnology, and the majority of these tests that are produced by major competitors have proteases, DNA and RNA carriers, and also other enzymes. And these are the most expensive components that happen to be temperature insensitive. Via a combination of nano encapsulation with some preservative material, we were able to use less amounts. We were also able to stabilize them at room temperature. And this includes zone 4 testing, which is hot and humid climates.
Thank you. The next question will be from Frank.
Goes a little bit along this line. You improved the test reagents. What about the equipment? You're using the same equipment?
Our tests are, yes, our tests are open source, so you can use them on all the popular equipment, including Biorad, Applied Biosystem equipment from Qiagen. We also offer our own equipment that we do not manufacture. This is a partnership on assembly, so there is no innovation on our end in that. But in case any facility has their own equipment, it's open source.
That means you could use also you could leverage from the cost effectiveness here in Europe or in the US market.
Of course, but yes, this is of course possible, but honestly, I think there are a lot of underserved places. Europe is an amazing market, but it's, I would say, saturated. I think addressing the places where testing is unavailable because of a cost issue and temperature-related issues would be our initial goal.
Michael?
Great. Thanks a lot, Salma. To continue on that thinking, how do you defend your technology? Can you build any entry barriers against larger competitors?
We've already filed a US patent on October 2023, so we're still waiting for the result of that. It's a US patent. We did not file any WIPO or like extension applications because honestly, the only reason we filed for the US was to defend our credibility. I did my PhD in Germany, and as long as I was in a German institute, no one questioned my credibility. The moment I moved back to Africa, everyone was like, really? Can you do science in Africa? So when we wanted to file a patent, we said we're going to go to a US office, we're going to be reviewed by people who are assumed credible, just for credibility purposes.
We have 1 minute left for the last question, probably. Pavel?
Thank you,
We
Salma.
will see
Great
if we make it
presentation.
short.
So once you get funding, what's the next biggest challenge to scaling? And how do you assure quality control if you would operate also in Asia and across many geographies?
Of course. So we just closed a round in May of this year, so we will be raising next year. So the barrier is finding, I would say, a suitable partner, because in Sudan and in Iraq, we operate through distribution partners. We don't operate by physically being on the floor. We understand that this model will work quite well in certain African countries, in certain GCC in the Gulf region, but moving forward, this model would not work well. And so we would need additional funding to establish other manufacturing facilities elsewhere.
Yes. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry, we only have 12 seconds left, so we won't be able to take another one. It goes fast, I told you. Thank you so much. That was a brilliant start into the day.